As far as I'm aware, the 5th generation of My Little Pony retains a reputation of being frivolous and lighthearted with its array of episodes, either nodding them away as solidly entertaining or above average. But there is occasionally the outliner that goes against the grain to make an exciting impression. For example, Portrait of a Princess, one that exhibits a slowly severing relationship in a realistically impactful way, as the Misty clears for its powerful focus on opposite personalities and possession. Also, Roots of All Evil by creating a sense of haunting dominion due to Opaline's gradual uprising. Yet for me personally, none of those episodes can compare to what I believe is Generation 5's darkest episode, and arguably its cultural peak that it hasn't been able to achieve a second time. It's always a challenge to craft a compelling series finale. If it fails, it gives the show an everlasting bad image because the payoff was unsuccessful in making viewers satisfied. However, Make Your Mark Chapter 4's finale luckily wasn't that, with it being the highest rated Make Your Mark episode on IMDb and widely enjoyed by fandom reviewers alike. It's safe to say that missing the mark was a success. Ironically, it did not miss the mark at all. Leora Beris's writing shines through exceptionally in producing a distinctive atmosphere of constant despair. So how's about I explain everything on why Missing the Mark is a dark masterpiece, and why it's also perhaps one of the most hopeful episodes as well. The execution of the opening scene is fantastic. The dimness of the landscape immediately sets the tone for the episode. It's going to be quite ominous, unlike most other colourful settings we've been accustomed to. It kicks off with the long-awaited payoff of Misty achieving her mission of capturing Sparky, which was initially laid out in Chapter 2. This instantly gets the ball rolling because it's so unexpected. She attempted this once in Have You Seen This Dragon, but this time Misty was triumphant. This gives us an early surprise and stuns us into submission to keep watching. The color toning of the scene is rather cold, with the cyans and greens, but Opaline's castle sticks out like a sore thumb, being mainly magenta and red, which are opposite colors on the spectrum to one another. It's clever really, since it builds the idea that Misty is better off staying away from that dreadful place, but is denied the opportunity by her captor.
Opaline is going to be so happy. You're all she thinks about.
Misty exclaiming that Sparky is all that Opaline thinks about is a brilliant one-liner, a further insight to her relationship with the Alicorn. Opaline's physiological abuse on Misty certainly sends a chill down my spine. She would instead viciously envisage what kind of detriment she can inflict on a younger creature than having a single train of thought on the one person she took in. We later learn that Opaline's castle itself is a together tree that withered away due to her disgust of friendship. Even when she eventually kidnapped Misty as a means to make it grow, it's a painful realization to us that Opaline never treated her like a decent individual, which is why she says this line too.
I'm sorry, but if you knew what it was like, you'd understand.
This line is superb, with her speaking it in front of Sparky, who is oblivious to the true nature of what is soon going to happen to him. A drastic change from his hesitation around her at first, which is why, just before the opening titles, I love this long shot of the castle with a crash of lightning occupying it. Cliché sure, but it's a great daunting foreshadowing that something more disturbing is awaiting them. At this point in the series, Sparky has grown to trust her, and Opaline is rightfully aware of this when she lashes out at Misty later on for speaking up for him.
He's harmless?
This harmless baby dragon has given me one headache too many.
It's textbook manipulation, and with a youthful mind like Sparky's, it paved the way for Misty being able to snatch him away like this. Think about it. Opaline groomed Misty as a child, and now she has unintentionally done the same to Sparky, who is a baby. Christ, that's a two-folded form of mad. Speaking of mad, upon re-entering the castle, the contrast between Misty's inner conflictions and Sparky's happy-go-lucky attitude is almost unnerving with a first watch. In retrospect, it becomes sorrowful when you've comprehended the torment the poor child is about to go through, which will affect him in the long run. There's also mortification for Misty because she was going to do what was correct. Just a shame that it was down to bad timing.
I don't know what to do. Take you back, or give you to Opaline. Take you back, or give you to Opaline.
The unicorn going back and forth, being unsure of what to do, was really smart, as you're able to predict her next move very clearly with the playful behavior from Sparky. Opaline's tone of language directed at Sparky continues to crawl under my skin, and it's extremely cringy. In an effective way.
And what a fine specimen he is! I adore him. I adore him.
With the line spoken earlier that the dragon is all that Opaline thinks about, her dialogue becomes even more disturbing when it culminates in the scene that has branded itself into my brain forever. Opaline replenishing her fire magic by draining Sparky's own, especially with the whammy that his colors desaturate the longer it goes on.
I'll only keep him there until he's done being drained, and then, well, let's just say he'll be useless.
This is spectacularly grim. Of course, we have seen this before in previous generations with similar enactments, but this one stands out more frightfully, plainly for the fact that it involves the youngest character of them all. Not to forget Opaline's ultimatum when she plans to drop Sparky's corpse into the water below after she's done with him.
My, that's a long drop. I just want to watch this stinky little dragon fall first.
Oh god, it's chilling to imagine the repercussions that could have held in store for the protagonists. After the opening titles, we are treated to this bird's eye shot of Hitch awakening from his nightmare, making him appear small and unaware of the kidnapping. Yes, it's a repeat of Chapter 2's finale's opening, but I appreciate how it doesn't waste time being repetitive about the dynamics. Hitch rightfully recognizes that Sparky can often be mischievous and one hell of a curious character. He's determined to not do another Operation Glitterbomb, no matter how much he suppresses his worrisome expressions.
Don't worry, Hitch. We'll find him.
Absolutely. I've learned my lesson from last time. Sparky will be just fine.
Their relationship reached a breaking point previously, understanding the mental descent Hitch went through without him. It's no easy experience being the only parental figure to Sparky, and it's pleasing how much Hitch tries to keep it together. He's learned his lesson, and in all honesty, missing the mark didn't need him learning another. It's a beautiful snowball effect into a different kind of nosedive of events. This notion is explored notably when everyone attempts to sing Sparky's lullaby to find out where he's gone, but it has no effect. What is more incredible about this is how it provides a stark contrast to when it worked in a smaller environment, and now the song completely fails when the kidnapped is out of reach. It's similar to the panic of losing your child in a supermarket and fearing the worst situation possible. Not to forget that everyone was calm and collected right off the bat, but the moment Sparky gets hurt, when it cuts back a second time to the Bright House, everyone starts losing their cool. Even when Misty crashes the panic party with skeptical assurance that she knows where Sparky is, her dark blue color palette stands out from the brightness in the building and doesn't provide much solidarity for everyone else.
How did she find Sparky?
What does she want? You're sure you know which way to go, Misty?
Positive.
How are you so positive?
Zip justifiably is suspicious, but Misty's lies still tug at her love for mysteries. This creates a decline of hope one place, along with increasing malicious progress going on elsewhere, as if the light is gradually being sucked away before the darkness consumes most of the runtime. And I love it! Another reason why this episode flourishes expertly is because of its status as a chamber piece, bottle episode if you will. Grounding the majority of the story to Opaline's castle was a remarkable choice for a finale setting.
She's got great style. style.
allowing more creativity to work itself into the script with the isolated location and Opaline having the ponies exactly where she wants them. Every word that emerges out of her mouth was amazing, acknowledging that they can't escape, even if they wanted to.
I expected the dragon, but you brought the whole set.
It also enhances the terror of the music too, because hot damn, the soundtrack specifically for this episode was excellent. Opaline's theme blasting the audience into silence, and the repetition of something like ghostly whispers and childlike twinkles manifesting her wickedness. Terrific! The claustrophobic ambiance radiating inside the fortress produces a feeling of constant gloom that keeps you in suspense. Even the golden arches on the walls could be compared to that of prison bars. Misty metaphorically led Sparky and the main five to their jail cells, which only makes Opaline trapping the group that ever more frightening. It heightens the emotions and paranoia at play between the conversations occurring upstairs and downstairs.
You betrayed us, Misty. How could you?
It's not like that.
You must be so excited.
I am.
Let's focus on upstairs for a moment. And yes, that is the Chest of Harmony. You're very observant on Easter eggs. Congrats!
Yeah, whatever.
The first time we see Opaline's office is shown with this high-angle shot. We gain an impression that Opaline is more than the stereotypical cackling villain. The possession of bookcases and candles strewn around the room assists in providing a more mythical spin on Opaline, one who's out of time with the present day but smart in ancient affairs. The first scene deals with Opaline's egotism on full display before Misty cuts her off with Sparky's condition worsening, hinting with her eyes flicking towards him, obviously worried. It's been clear from the cutie mark mix-up that Opaline views kindness as a form of weakness.
Don't get attached, Misty. It's a sign of weakness.
Which is made juicier with her doing vice versa on Misty, cutting her off from feeling empathy for Sparky, referring to it as mumbling.
I've told you 1,000 times I can't understand you when you mumble.
Even in the third scene where Misty begs Opaline to let Sparky go, the alicorn lets all hell loose on her with the camera pointing up at Opaline and down on Misty, displaying two polarizing moods between them. It's hurtful discerning that Opaline keeps hushing her natural element in an attempt to corrupt it, and therefore her.
Oh, you're not getting away that easily.
The second scene of them together is mostly shown through the use of Opaline's hand mirror, where she's chatting to Misty without even directly looking at her. This symbolizes the alicorn's distaste for the unicorn without the need to share a single glance, indicating to us that Opaline isn't going to truthfully keep her promise of a cutie mark. Misty would rather stay downstairs than remain upstairs, where the much more open space feels unwelcoming and restrictive. There's even a second where Misty lets herself relax her head on Opaline's hoof until she continues to delay the reward that Misty desires, treating her like nothing but a toy to deliberately mess with. Remind you of someone else in the room with them? Yeah. Now on to downstairs.
I can help.
Like you helped us get into this situation?
Bringing back the plot element of an invisibubble that drains magic was simply genius, and another method of shoving more spoonfuls of desperation down our throats. By the end, that exact desperation outstandingly turns into relief when Sunny turns the tables on Opaline, trapping her in her own bubble. Seeing our favorite characters uniformly blaming themselves for falling into the trap before they are accusing Misty point blank later on is so fucking sad.
I knew it. I should have just followed my instincts. She fooled us all.
And now Sparky is gone.
Oh, it's just stunning. That subtle joke of Izzy being incapable of breaking through can't even garner a laugh. Zip being mentally angry at herself is such a slap, because she was right all along, despite if Misty was essentially brainwashed and not intending it malevolently. Even Sunny can't use her alicorn counterpart, and watching the descent of hope in her face was stellar. This imagery is expressed by imagining that everywhere else outside the castle still has magic, but not inside this tiny space where they're practically chained to the floor. How they're unable to do anything for most of the episode truly inspires fear into the audience, with our heroes definitively feeling helpless for the first time. It's grimly complemented with Opaline relishing in Misty's sadness and Sunny's loss of optimism.
Maybe I can't do it. Maybe I'm not true alicorn material after all.
Now, some people tend to believe that the main five's accusations at Misty was unwarranted and inconsistent. But truthfully, they were deserved. And I'm sorry, but Misty was required to have this brutal mental breakdown.
I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve this.
This is all a matter of perception, which is why I find the three arguments the group share to be a dark development of grief. This overhead shot presents this uniquely, with Misty outside the bubble while positioned far away from those she liked inside the bubble. Yes, we knew Misty wasn't a traitor, but they didn't, so it provides a more gripping viewing experience with the outside view that Misty doesn't have.
I brought you here to help get Sparky out. Honest.
You haven't been honest with us, ever.
Yeah, how did Sparky get in here to begin with?
Her story arc is impressive, and the ending of this episode gives partial closure on her life. Misty has been in denial between her loyalty for her friends and Opaline during the first chapters, before it culminates right here. First, giving Opaline what she wants until she goes back to her friends, believing she would save Sparky, while being completely unaware that she was virtually leading them straight into the belly of the beast. It is her fault both ways, so it's natural that everyone would point their hoofs at Misty. Whether you like it or not, Misty bit the hoofs that fed her, so Sunny and the others are fueled by only betrayal and anger to turn their backs to her.
I thought we were your friends. No.
It is why this revelation has taken our heroes off guard. Even when Misty attempts to emphasize with the captors by mentioning how Opaline brought her up, the agonizing atmosphere around them continues to drain their expressions. Most phenomenally when Misty expresses how she would have gotten her cutie mark. The ponies appear to be listening at first, but they lower their heads, realizing what Misty impulsively viewed them as: bargaining chips.
She took me in and she promised me a cutie mark.
Oh, it's disgusting! And it's why I love Misty's face of pure terror, now that the reality check has sunken in of what she has done. The depressing strain on her face and in her voice is felt as if things are about to officially change for the better. The music too is immaculate, turning ever more dramatic, but instead it crescendos with a sense of victory when Misty snaps and delivers possibly the greatest speech of her character.
I'd rather be a pony without a cutie mark forever than live one more day as a pony that does the wrong thing.
It's a conclusive acceptance of her unchaining herself from the evil alicorn's machinations. It gives her highly anticipated cutie mark transformation the clarity this episode deserved. Suddenly, as if the claustrophobia has vanished in an instant. Misty liberated her friends, and now she has freed herself by earning her cutie mark.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Given the pessimistic nature of what has happened in the episode up to this point, it was seriously adorable to watch everybody coming together to showcase a rational act of teamwork in a dire state of events. There's no time for a proper apology, they have to bail as fast as they can, setting up a profound distraction so Zip and Hitch are able to rescue their son, which in of itself was an extra sweet scene to build onto the optimism overpowering the opposite.
That Misty. That pony will be the end of me.
Ah shit, she really was. Seeing Izzy and Pip's faces when Opaline comes downstairs again was super cool too. Pip's especially, as she looks reluctant to even be face to face with Opaline, and later on in chapter 6, Pip was the only one to stand up to her bravely directly with a distraction of her own. Gotta love that worthy character growth. That's our girl. Sunny was yet another suitcase of awesomeness when she finally confronts the monster that Twilight Sparkle vaguely warned them about.
You must watch out for Opus before she opens.
The pieces all click together and it's wonderful to watch them magically going at it with each other. Obviously, it's no magnificent and explosive duel, but it's one that was very much necessary. Lacking any actual combat experience with her magic, Sunny spends her fight shielding herself against Opaline. Defense is her best offense right now, and I fall in love with the fight choreography at play here. Izzy and Pip tagging along momentarily was again a fateful example of their friendship altogether.
Yes! Yes!
And speaking of that, the climax of the battle was exuberant too, giving us an early hint at how much better the ponies can do when they're unified. Comparing to how Opaline and Misty's together trees blossomed, it's a gratifying irony how Opaline failed to grow hers without Misty's friendship, and how Misty grew hers with encouragement from her friends. Despite the protagonists unifying their magic, it plainly wasn't enough for Opaline to bear.
You can't keep me here forever.
No, but I can keep you away from my friends.
The increasing brightness inside the fortress dominates the darkness that once completely blanketed the ambiance. It's blinding even, as if you were just walking out of the cinema. I love that too, because it gives the entire building a sense of buoyance since Sparky has been rescued and Opaline just got her magic turned on her. Even the ponies teasing the villain and Misty gleefully cleaning up the mess afterwards were hilarious scenes as well. It feels like a genuine miracle that everybody managed to escape with their lives.
That was outrageous!
Disappointed! The epilogue of this episode was framed marvelously too, to properly wrap up everything so the closure on Misty owning her cutie mark, her true identity now revealed to her friends, and being determined to help them defeat Opaline is solidified. When Misty walks into the Bright House, she has the cloak on from the beginning, but this time she pulls down the hood since she has nothing to fear and she doesn't have to hide behind a suspicious persona any longer. She is officially inducted into the group to make the new main 6 and not the main 5. That motto of hoof to heart will forever be memorable.
Hoof to heart.
I also respect it for shining the importance on Sparky's story from this point onwards. With his dragon fire taken away, he suffers from horrible fatigue that lingers on into Chapter 5's first few episodes. A great loose end to deal with in the next series so it can provide a more emotional connection with the characters, particularly with Hitch and Misty. The ponies forgiving Misty was a line and a half in the making, and it's lovely since they acknowledge that what she did was wrong, but the unicorn is willing to pay them back. I pointed that out earlier, but they legit spell it out for you right here.
I promise, you can trust me now. I'll do whatever it takes to help you defeat Opaline.
Understanding that Misty has now switched sides for the greater good, everybody feels no direct resentment for her because what would be the point? All that matters is that they are more aware of the danger the world could face if Opaline reached full power, so they are in it together. This is a real turning point for the rest of the series, with meaningful plot threads that keep us thrilled to see what more could emerge out of this. There's no more messing about. There's no more dragging out the mystery longer than it needs. It only sinisterly comes down to a matter of time when Opaline discovers the truth, and that becomes a pinnacle moment in Chapter 6.
There's so much you've been hiding from me.
You really think the episode will end there happily, yet it doesn't, as one last surprise prevents us from embracing the tranquility. The cliffhanger is masterful for dragging the knife in one last time when another target is found. The dragons. Opaline has no need for Sparky anymore when she took his dragon fire away, so it's logical she would set her eyes on bigger prizes concerning the whole species.
If one dragon is awake, then the rest must be stirring.
This is a natural progression of the stakes at hoof, and this was exhibited wonderfully with the camera giving these extreme close-ups on her face and with the dragon silhouette in her eyes. She means business now, and it's eerie to watch before the fire engulfs the frame along with the loud suspense of music until the credits are cut in. This is what Opaline wants, and she's going to get it done her way no matter what, even if Equestria is burnt down to its very knees.
Opaline's coming.
Pondering about this now, it's almost like you didn't watch the finale missing the mark. You survived it. And just before this video ends, I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on my Patreon. My Silver Fluffbutt patrons, Sabrina Wade and Alex Smith, and all my Gold Fluffbutt patrons, Drew Lazinski, Clear Heart Apple, Jonathan Chapper, Stephen Cram, Darth Siler 22, Owen Wildish, Lance Dragmeyer, The Bluish Pony, Keebat VA. All of your love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.